Hi YouTube. Sorry about that. I was trying to fix my flash drive because it was kind of sticking out a certain way. So anyway, it's your girl Eliza, and I'm bored as fuck. I'm home alone, so I figured why not talk to you guys about my life and what's going on and what's up, and yeah. So um, I wanted to talk to you guys about this because I don't know what to fucking think about this. This is the type of shit that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. Only this time it's a little bit awkward because, well, let me just tell you the story and then I'll get into depth. So I use this app called Periscope from time to time. A lot of people, if you're familiar with Periscope, basically, if you're not familiar with Periscope, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's basically this app where you live stream, kind of like what I'm doing right now. Hi, Tyler. But it's on Periscope and it like announces it to everyone. Like, well, it doesn't announce it, but it like random people who don't follow you can like watch you, and if they like you they can follow you and they can give you super likes and you can actually, you know, like get paid and stuff. Well, it's kind of like Live Me, if you know what Live Me is, but I think Live Me is kind of cooler in a way. But Live Me is like filled with thoughts, which is why I don't use it, because it's like, you know. Anyway, so I was on Periscope like maybe a month ago, maybe I don't even know, and I made a live stream that was in both English and Hindi, and a little bit of Punjabi. Well, in Urdu, but Urdu's the same. That's why I didn't say it. But and so I made a lot of like Indian friends, Pakistani friends. Like, it was cool, you know. Um, and I met mainly these two, but I only talked to one of them really. I met Ahmed and I met Musa. Musa has been like my go-to friend. Like, we talk all the time. Ahmed, it was cool at first, but he got really annoying and he couldn't accept the fact that we live in two different countries, you know. He would call me at all the wrong times and he would get mad at me that I wasn't talking to him, and I was trying to explain to him that I live in America and he lives in Dubai. So there's a time difference, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a college student, so I can't stay up hella late. Damn, I have The Sims 4 now. I actually have The Sims 3 and The Sims 4, and I've been thinking about getting The Sims 2 back just because I miss it. But yeah, damn. Um, but anyway, so I stopped talking to Ahmed because he just got really annoying. So anyway, back to Musa, 'cause this is who this whole story is about. So I started talking to Musa. We exchanged WhatsApp numbers, um, because that's what all the brown people use, and that's basically the only way that you can talk to people who don't live in your country. Like, not like that, but like, you know, it's just easier to text and call people on WhatsApp, I feel like. I don't know. So we exchanged WhatsApp numbers and we've been talking for a while, you know. Um, and he would always call me and tell me some funny stories. He lives in the UK, he lives in London, and he owns this shop. And it's actually kind of funny because one of my exes lives in London, and and I was telling him that because he was like, "Oh, you should come to London." And I'm like, "I don't know, because if my ex knows I'm there, like, you know, I don't know what he wants from me." So yeah, um, if I go out, I'm gonna have to like hide and like not post anything because, you know. So, and that's not fun. Like, what's the point of traveling if you can't share it with everyone? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. So we've been talking for a while, and he owns this shop, and he has people that he works that works for him, and he doesn't have enough people because he literally works every day. I mean every day, and sometimes he sleeps in the shop so that he can open on time, like literally. And so we were talking yesterday. Actually, no, was it yesterday? Was it the day? No, it was yesterday, right? No, 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 it wasn't yesterday. Anyway, we were talking a couple days ago. I'm just gonna say that, and we were talking, and he starts telling me, because we were talking about, I don't even know how the topic came up. We were just talking about how because he asked me, he was like, so how does the American government work? He was like, if I were to come to your country and overstay my stay, like, but then I marry you, would that do me any good, or, all that. And so I was explaining to him, like, well, in our country, who our president is, and, he doesn't play with, illegal immigrant shit. So, how is Duke? Oh my god, this is gonna break my heart. I really don't like talking about this. I'm gonna have to figure out how to say this without crying. Oh my god, I haven't even heard his name in like 3 years. Oh my god. So, I'm gonna summarize it a little bit. So, I don't know when you last saw my videos, but um, my god, hold on. I don't even know how to say it. Like, oh my god. Let me just hop on my computer because I have everything on my computer. I don't even remember the exact date, to be honest, but I don't know when you like stopped watching my videos, but once I get the correct date, this will make sense, I promise you. I'm just so unorganized. Okay, so 2017, I don't know when you stopped watching my videos, but in 2017, Duke was diagnosed with stage 4, my throat, stage 4 lymphatic cancer, cancer of the lymph nodes. And his doctor said that he gave him like, I think it was 1 to 6 months left to live. So we're like, okay, at first I didn't want to believe it because Duke was the happiest, healthiest dog in the world, and he didn't show any like, signs of cancer. And I always thought, like, if you're stage 4, wouldn't you already be sick? Like I didn't know. My mom, who's a nurse, she had to explain to me that sometimes people can get cancer that is unnoticeable, So when he was first diagnosed, we were like, okay, and one of the first things that you have to mentally prepare yourself is that you have to mentally prepare yourself for the fact that your loved one is going to die in 1 to 6 months. Like, you literally have 1 to 6 months left. And I don't know, it was hard to believe. I couldn't believe it. Basically, what had happened was Duke had to go to the doctor for some reason. I think he had a checkup, or he had worms, like, I don't know, a year back, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Duke has gone to the doctor a lot, that poor dog. So he went to the doctor to get a checkup, and the doctor was, like, if you have, how the doctors, if you have a dog, the doctors, they do like a physical. They check their neck and they check their ears and all that. And the doctor was checking his neck and discovered a lump. And Duke has had benign tumors, like, on his stomach, benign meaning non-cancerous. So the doctor saw this lump and he's like, okay, I'm gonna, do a biopsy, and, we're gonna make sure that this is non-cancerous. Well, unfortunately, test came back positive. Duke had cancer and it was stage 4. So we thought, okay, we didn't know what to do. I mean, we knew what to do, but, like, I've never dealt with anyone or any animal that's had cancer before, so I had no idea what to expect, like, and dogs don't have the same options that humans have. Like, humans have chemotherapy and all that shit, but especially when you're stage 4, it's a little different because, stage 4 is technically terminal, so, you could do chemo, but it'd be a waste of money because it's already, it's already spread in your system. So we were just like, okay, he has cancer, so we're going to make sure that his last 6 months here on Earth are going to be the best. So this guy was spoiled. I mean, he was so spoiled. And he has a little brother that is still with me. So we spoiled the shit out of him. And actually we had a scare like maybe a couple months into his cancer diagnosis, like I'd come out the shower and my mom was like freaking out, and I heard Duke crying, and I'm like, what happened? And she's like, I don't know, like he doesn't want me to touch him, but he looks like he's in pain. And I'm like, oh my God. And so my mom shares Duke with, well, she used to share Duke with her ex. So she called her ex over and she's like, I don't know what's going on. He's acting funny. So he came over and he saw his neck and he was like, it's swollen. Like his lymph nodes were swollen. So we're thinking, oh no, we're going to have to put him down early because, the thing about having tumors in your throat is that if they swell up enough, they're going to block your airway. So we were thinking, oh shit, what are we going to do? We're going to have to take him in and put him down early. And we were not ready for that. Like, none of us were ready for that, And just the thought of, like, losing this big guy, this big, strong dog, it broke my heart. But when we called his doctor, the doctor gave us some medication, prednisone to be exact, to help with his tumors, to help the swelling so that he could at least live the remainder of his life and not be in pain and be able to breathe. And unfortunately, and I blame myself for this, and it haunts me and it will continue to haunt me, I blame myself and a little bit of my mom for this because my mom's a nurse. So prednisone, it has some really severe side effects. Vomiting, dehydration, you're constantly drinking water, you're hungry all the time. And so Duke, as he got sicker, the medication, I guess it wasn't, I don't know, my mom just didn't like to see Duke sick, and the medication was making him even more sick because, it's making him throw up, and he was just really skinny, and my mom didn't like it, so she was like, I'm gonna downgrade his dose. And I'm like, Mom, don't do that. Like, why would you mess with his medicine? He has cancer, like, why would you do that? And she's like, I don't want him suffering like this. He doesn't deserve to suffer. He's throwing up, and I'm like, but, if you downgrade it, there's a chance that, his tumors could block his airway, like, I don't know. But at the time, I'm not gonna lie, like, I agreed with her because he doesn't deserve to suffer. He's already sick enough, So we downgraded it, and he was diagnosed in February, and in June, a couple days before his birthday, we actually had a big birthday party for him that we were gonna throw for him so that everyone could come and see Duke one last time before we take him to the hospital and say goodbye. Well, the day of the party, Duke collapsed outside. And we tried to get him up, but he couldn't get up. He was too weak. So I was actually home alone when he collapsed. My mom and her boyfriend at the time, her ex, went to the store to get a couple things before the party. And this is when he collapsed. He went outside to get water because his water bowl and his food bowl are outside, because if you have a big dog, they're messy. So we always keep his stuff outside so that he can eat and be as messy as he wants. So he went to get some water, and something happened. He was walking and lost his balance, and he hit like a chair, because we have chairs outside, and he fell, and I heard it. It was a loud thump. And I just remember going outside, and he's laying there, and I'm like, come on, Duke, come on, Duke, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. And I called my mom, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, Mom, like, Duke just fell, and he's not getting up. Like, what am I gonna do? Oh my, So my mom's like, okay, hold on, let me finish this grocery shopping real quick. I'm almost done. I'm gonna come home. So I'm like, okay. So she does everything. Her and her boyfriend come home, and we carry him to his bed. We tried to get him to come up. I tried to give him his medicine, and he was so weak that he couldn't even eat the medicine. He couldn't take the meat. We would wrap his pills in meat so he would eat it. He couldn't even do that. So we put him in his bed and we talked. We were like, it's the day of his party, but he's suffering. He's not doing good. He's not looking good. He can't even walk. He can't even, you know what I'm saying? What are we gonna do? Like, you know, um, I went to the store to get a couple things, and I came back, and everyone came to the decision that we need to put him down because we can't let him suffer like this. He doesn't deserve this. So my mom's ex came over because he drives a big ass. Well, he did. He used to drive a big ass car, but he doesn't drive it no more. And we, got some blankets ready, put it in the trunk, like not the trunk. If you drive an SUV, you know what I'm talking about. And then we all carried Duke and we put him in the trunk. And then my mom called the animal hospital and asked if they can bring out a gurney because Duke had collapsed and he's not able to walk in himself. We weren't able to walk him. So they were like, okay. So we got to the hospital. They dragged a gurney out and they wheeled him in. And the cool thing about the hospital that we go to for our dogs is that they light this candle in the front. And they light it and they put this sign next to it that says, like, this candle is lit because someone is saying goodbye to their loved one. So if you could show respect, that would be great. So they light this candle. And, like, right when it saw the candle light, I already knew, like, I'm going to go home without my best friend. Like, it was hard. So we all went in. It was me, my mom, her ex, because that was his dog as well, my cousin, and my aunt. And we all went in, and we all comforted him. And, the nurse came in, and the doctor came in. The doctor loved Duke. The doctor was actually, like, sad. He was like, oh, hi, big guy. Like, everyone just couldn't believe it, because, like, if you saw Duke, he was this big, strong, like, you wouldn't have been able to tell that he was sick, but by the end of his sickness, it got him good. I didn't even go to college. I'm in college. I took online classes so I could make sure that he was okay, so I could be at home in case something happened. So we all went around and we all comforted him, and the nurse came in and injected him and put him to sleep, and we all said goodbye while he was falling asleep. And I don't know why, but I didn't lose it until the doctor came in. The doctor came in with a stethoscope and he put it up to his chest. And I think the face that the doctor made told me everything. He didn't even say, like, I'm sorry. Like, the second he put it on his chest, I knew he was gone. I knew it, My baby. I lost it. I lost it at the hospital. I just laid my head on his body. I lost it. He was the nicest, the sweetest dog that I've ever had. He wasn't mean. He wasn't vicious. He looked vicious, but he was the nicest dog. Like, he's a sweetheart, you know? Um, yeah. And because I lost it, everyone around me lost it. But that was my best friend. I had a bond with him because I was always home with him when he was sick. Like, you know? And around the same time that I took care of him was when I met Terrence. So, you know, Terrence, I think that's why I'm so close to Terrence, because he wasn't with me when it happened, but like he was there. He watched me take care of him. He knows, you know, how much work I put in for this dog. Like, you know, um, and here's the hard part. I mean, him dying was like, you know, it was the hardest part. But then having to come home and looking at your other dog's face when he realizes that his brother's not coming home. Charlie and Duke were best friends. So Charlie actually had a harder time with it than anyone, like any of us did. And so, you know, we had the party, and it went from Duke's birthday party to Duke's farewell party. We called it a farewell. It was so hard because people were coming over and they were bringing their dogs, you know, and then they would ask me, "So, how's Duke? Where's Duke?" And I had to like break it to them, and I had to say it over and over again to all these people. Like, unfortunately, Duke didn't make it. He died at the hospital. And, you know, people who like knew me personally, they knew that it wasn't easy, because, you know, when I got Duke, I was a freshman in high school, and he died when I graduated high school. Not like exactly when, like a year after, I'd say. Um, but yeah. And everyone's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for your loss." My mom, she couldn't handle it. And anyone who knew Duke, they couldn't handle it either. People were crying when they found out. But let me tell you, no one had it worse than Charlie. My poor Charlie didn't eat for a whole week after he lost his brother. No matter what we did, Charlie didn't want to eat. That was his best friend. When Charlie was born, that was the first person that he knew. I mean, obviously next to like my parents and me and my mom's ex, but that was like the first animal that he knew was Duke. You know, that was his brother. They grew up together. They played together. You know, even though Duke was a giant dog and he's this little dog, they were best friends. They did everything together. And the one thing that I will never ever forget was when Duke was laying in his bed at my house before we took him to the hospital. It was like he knew that he was going to die that day, because he took his paw and he put it on my leg. Like he knew. And everyone saw it, you know. I actually started crying there, because I'm like, he was like the sweetest dog ever, bro. That's why it hurts so much, because like he was not an evil dog. He would never hurt anyone. He would never hurt any animal. I mean, you know, he would never hurt anyone on purpose, I should say, because he was a big guy. He did hurt a lot of people on accident, you know. But he didn't know how big he was. But he was the best dog ever. He was the best dog. I mean, I tell all my friends, if you want to get a Great Dane, go for it. But, you know, Great Danes, they don't last that long because they're so big, you know. But, you know, I'd never had a dog that had cancer. So it was hard, you know, to like watch this dog go from happy and playing, you know, doing normal dog things to barely able to get up, you know. And actually the night before he died, he was having breathing problems. He couldn't sleep. And my mom was actually getting ready to take him into the hospital that night because he couldn't breathe. But that's how strong he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he fought it. He fought it. He was, I mean, he fought that shit like it was nothing. Even though he couldn't get up, he tried. He didn't just lay on the ground. He tried. It's fucked up. It's fucked up that bad things happen to good people and good animals, you know? It's fucked. I will never understand. It's fucked up. So we had his farewell, and it was also my cousin's birthday, so we did kind of like a combination. And at his farewell, we did this thing where we took all the balloons and we threw it up in the sky, and we all screamed, "Dookie, Duke, Marmaduke, to Dookie!" You know, and everyone whistled and everyone's cheering. You know. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't usually talk about him around my other dog because sometimes it like messes with him if I say his name. Charlie, come here. Charlie? Yeah, I think I just made him sad. He's hiding somewhere. He'll come back up. He'll come back up. He probably went to get food or something. Charlie, do you live with your mom or dad now? I actually live with both my mom and my dad. It's weird. I just go back and forth, you know. Oh, here we go. We're getting closer and closer and closer. Oh, here we go. Charlie, come here. This is Duke's little brother, Charlie. I know, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say his name. You don't have to hide. I know. I know. I miss him too. I know. It's okay. Your big brother's in a better place. I need to get a Kleenex, and I'm not getting it from my bathroom because my shit is wet. Oh, oh my God. And that's what makes it even harder, is that there's people that I haven't talked to in years, and that's one of the first things that they'll ask me is like, "Oh my God, how's your dog?" And it's like, you know, it's like, it's hard, you know. And I know, like, to some people he's just a dog, but like to me he wasn't just a dog, you know. He was the coolest dog I've ever had. Like, I mean, I love all my dogs, you know what I'm saying? I don't love one dog more than the other, but this is September. Oh my God, come on. August. Exactly. So that's why it hurt a lot. And even people, like we had family friends that were just sobbing, you know? Hold on, where is it? Oh, this is July. What the fuck am I doing? He passed in June. Come on. Okay. So this is basically what I had to do because he had collapsed and he wanted water. So I grabbed like a container and I filled it with water. Come on, come on. I just saw you try to get up. Come on. Don't give up, Dookie. I know you have the strength in you. Come on, Dookie. Come on. Come on. Come on, my Bubba Duke. Come on. You cannot crawl. Duke Duke. Come on, Duke Duke. Come on. Oh my goodness. Come on, Duke Duke. Come on, my Duke Duke. It was his back legs. It's his back legs. I think his back legs gave out. Because look, he can pull himself up, but that's it. Come on. Dookie, what happened? Did you drink all your water? Let's see. Look at that! Look at that face. I know. I know, my baby. The worst part about it was that he was only 4 when he passed, y'all. That's why it hurts because he wasn't even like a grown adult. He wasn't even an old man. He was a child. He was 4. I mean, I guess in dog years that makes him like a grown adult, but still. I'm gonna show you guys this one video and then I'm gonna get back to my original story that I was talking about. But so yeah, for anyone who hasn't watched any of my videos in a while and you're wondering what happened to that big giant black dog that I used to live with, now you know. So I'm gonna talk about the original story that I was talking about before Tyler asked me about Duke. Um, so yeah. So my friend Musa, I talk to him a lot. And he asked me the other day, and he knows I have a crush on him, because I told him. He's cute. I told him straight up. I'm like, you know, I like you. And I said it in English and Hindi, so he knows. He knows. And so I told him I had a crush on him, so he knows. He asked me the other day if I could help his friend stay in the UK. I'm like, well, I'm in the US, so he's like, no. Here's what's gonna happen. His friend is gonna go to Pakistan, and I'm supposed to go to Pakistan and get him, or bring him here somehow, and then marry him, so he could be an American citizen. And then I don't even understand how this even involves the UK. Like, I don't know.
We call on the wheels. Hi, do you guys deliver? Okay. We call on the.
I'm gonna go real quick and get myself together, and then I'll be back, and I'll just tell you guys. I'll summarize the whole Musa story because I don't have the energy. No, I'll just tell you, but